Welcome, starLites. April blessings to you all, and I'm super excited to be sharing this space with you as we take on our second edition, our second episode of the LSW Tarot Cast. So a bit different this month. There's definitely a different vibe as we are collectively going through a very challenging time and learning to live our new normal as initiated by this global pandemic. So for me personally, I am trying to take a bit of a reset attitude. I'm doing some reflection and really opening the door to explore trying to do a few things differently, which brings me to today's tarot cast. I thought it would be interesting to try something new, and I am going to actually focus on the 9 personality traits of the Enneagram, and I have already chosen a card for us as a theme for the month as a whole. So I did choose the 9 of Spring, which would also be known as the 9 of Wands. And so for that theme, and something for all of you that are going to be watching this video, really it's representing overwhelm and really just understanding our boundaries and being kind and gentle to ourselves and learning to delegate and ask for help. And just knowing that absolutely, as we see that this is a pandemic, that we are all in this together. So really be sure that if you are feeling like you are fighting this on your own, just to reach out. And if you're at home for the first time with kids and homeschooling and everything else that might look like for you personally, don't forget to ask for help. So I've already shuffled the cards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose 9 cards, and then we'll just go through the Enneagrams one by one. So we'll go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So if you don't know your Enneagram number, if you don't know what personality trait you do fall into, there are some great free resources online. So just Google it. I'll make sure to see if I can find a link and add it into the comments section for you as well for the one that I did. I am actually a number 7, so I am an enthusiast. And as I read it, every single thing, just like you know, I am a loud and proud Leo, I 100% am a number 7 enthusiast as well. So let's get right to it. So for the very first one, the number 1, we do have the perfectionist. So for the perfectionist, I have the Prince of Summer. So this is really just falling in love, and what an interesting time, what an interesting month to get the Prince of Summer, because it's really starting a new project, falling in love with something new or somebody new, or starting a new passion project. So really take this month to be adventurous and just be all in, and use the time that you might be allotted at this moment to to just, again, like I said, be adventurous and try something new. So for number 2, we do have the Helper, which we have the Queen of Autumn, which is also, could be considered the Queen of Pentacles. No surprise here. So this is a very balanced personality. The Queen of Autumn, really being mindful of taking care of yourself, managing what you're doing, and making sure that you're healthy financially and physically, and that there is a good balance there. But taking that and extending it to others and making sure your network and your community are also feeling balanced, and that you are, giving up some of that time in service if and when you can and where you can. So great card for my helpers. So for number 3, we have the Achiever. So I can understand this for sure for our achievers, the 2 of Autumn. It's really just finding balance, right? This is not a perfect, ideal situation where you have a plan that you can strive for and really get that award from. So this is really a moment for you where you're going to have to balance like your everyday kind of your behaviors and your goals, and just make sure that even on an emotional level that you are feeling the balance as well, right? So let's go to our number 4, the Individualist. We have the 6 of Autumn. So there looks like there might be some time for you this month to be of service, to be giving. If you find that you have enough and that you can spare some, whether it's some cans of food, whether it's some volunteer hours, always being mindful of your region and where you are and how you're connecting with your community. But just even reaching out via phone and just making sure that everybody is okay and that everybody's feeling connected. So definitely would like to see that my number 4s are making sure that that anything that you have extra of, that you are passing that on. All right, so our number 5s, which are the observers, we have the 7 of Summer. So for you guys, no more procrastinating, right? Get onto that project. You're going to have your ups and downs. We all are. Some days we're going to feel more productive than others. But this is a really good opportunity for those days when you are feeling like you can and you have been gentle with yourself and without that guilt of feeling like you have to. Now is the time to look at some of those projects that you've had on the go and finish them off. Get rid of the ones that no longer serve and finish up the ones that that excite you and make you feel like, hey, I've got some extra time on my hand, should you have that extra time to invest in just kind of seeing a few things through and getting that momentum going for you. Excellent. So now we have the number 6, who is our loyalist. So we have the King of Spring. So this is really interesting. This is really good. I like this. So your leadership and your knowledge and your expertise is needed right now. You're a master communicator with this card as well. So be creative and take the opportunities to be inspiring. What messages are you getting out there? If there are people who are maybe down or suffering or just feeling a bit lost as we navigate this time, how can you reach out and really just kind of pull them up from the depths and really get them inspired, get them moving, get them outside, just doing things because you know how to handle challenge. You are not a victim. You're a survivor. You're more than a survivor. You are a success story, right? So how can you impart that into those in and around you? So would love for you guys, my number 6s, to work on that and make sure that you're sharing your wealth of knowledge and just being that positive influence on people. So now we have the number 7, which is me, the enthusiast, right? So we have the 9 of Summer. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of feeling a bit like this. So it's just a recognition this month, my 7s, my enthusiasts, of what you already have. What you have is enough, and that enough is absolutely worth celebrating. We are in a position of abundance which allows us to have more of that positive outlook, which we kind of tend to always do anyways. So I want you to share that positive energy and those feelings of abundance and really just be that light again, that beacon of energy that can, people can look to and remember and just kind of tap into when they need it as well. So enjoy this time for those of you, again, that are in a position, my 7s, to just kind of take a look around and be like, this is okay. I can get through this. There's opportunities for me to reflect and have a bit of adventure while we're at it. So there you go. So my number 8s are my challengers. All right. So we have the 8 of Summer. So kind of the opposite of the 7s. So my 8s, the challengers, you guys are feeling a bit more like, okay, this is kind of the end of a phase. Everything I've worked towards, as it's all kind of come to this. So now what, right? So take this opportunity, take this time, take this month of April to just really, do exactly that. Figure out, now what? So the ending or the solution that you've kind of come to or are coming to right now, you made it. Are you loving it? Are you passionate about it? If this card came up, probably not so much. So use this opportunity, use this time to really reflect and reset and just kind of think of your future. What does this look like for me now? Where do I want to see myself on my next step? Don't need to do anything necessarily to get that up and going, but the best thing for you to do is just recognize what isn't working for you. And then from there, just figure out what would that look like in a perfect world or in a better world or in the next phase of your life. All right. And then finally, we have number 9, our peacemaker. So for our peacemaker, we have the King of Autumn. So interesting. So our peacemaker is really our stability, our force, this is our legacy. This is our time to really connect with and make sure that we are prepared for the future. What are we doing right now? What are the steps that we can take right now so that when we look down on this, when we look back to this 10, 15, 20, 25 years from now, what were the things that we did? What were the things that we had that allowed for us to have that kind of success? So there is some success momentum there for my number 9s as well. So yeah, work on, if you started those courses, if you thinking of some like your finances and stuff like that, great month to really dial in and lock down those ideas and those concepts and anything that you're working on, because this is definitely a future forward moment for you, and there is going to be successes coming out of this month for sure. And even just your thought process and your actions and everything that you're taking from this. Our autumns are always taking the lessons and turning that into something that you can viably use down the road. So there you go for my 9s. Just taking this moment and using it to create a snowball effect for your legacy down the road. All right, you guys, some great messages. As always, if you have any questions about the cards that I've pulled or the messages or how it can align specifically with your Enneagram, absolutely reach out and let's have a conversation. Thank you so much again, you guys, and I always appreciate you taking a few minutes to spend some time with me. Enjoy the rest of your month.